Yep, you know that's right. We're going to do another one of them. I don't know if I got one on the channel. Don't care. We're going to do it anyway. 2014 Chevrolet Cruze. Not limited to. It just so happens to be a 2014. Brakes are rubbing. It's going to get new rotors. These cannot be cut. I'm not going to bother to measure them because I already know they're not going to be able to cut. And nor do I want to cut that much off of a rotor anyway. I feel it's unsafe, so therefore I'm not going to do it. The end. Get our tools up here. Get some tools going. Get some light going. Can you see? Probably not. I don't know. Am I going to get a decent angle? Oh yeah. What do you reckon we got here? 18 maybe? Something like that? Oh, first try. So that's an 18. Let's see what the other one is. What did I just grab? 8. Well, that ain't going to be an 8. It's going to be a 10, if anything. 10 it is. I'll try to stay out of the way here. Oh yeah, it's one of them. I keep forgetting. You don't have to have a wrench right here. You don't. It's best not to kink these hoses too much. I mean, that is a 14. The thing is getting older. You know, I don't want to damage it if I don't have to. So we're going to start by removing those 10mm headed bolts. Lay that up here. I'm going to do a little bit backwards today. Now that one right there is a phenolic piston. I'm not going to lubricate that. Doesn't need lubrication, excuse me. Sorry about that. Where was I at? Oh, I'm a piston pusher. What was I saying? I was saying that I'm not going to lubricate this one because it's a phenolic piston. It just don't need it. Really, especially in this area here or where the vehicle is going, just doesn't need it. I mean, it's really that simple. It don't need it. So we'll I'm going to go ahead and hang this up properly. Welding rod. If you got a buddy that welds, welding rod works real good. They make hangers that you can buy. Obviously they work real good. I took the clips off of it. Now we're moving on to the 18 over here. Woo! We'll have to check to make sure that ain't a 17. No, it is an 18. It's loose. Had me wondering there, but anyway. That was pretty loose. I didn't do the brakes on this vehicle, so some people do wind themselves up if you want to. Well, let's just leave that hanging right here, and I'll be back in just a sniff. You get the older generation, especially the people that used to work in plants and stuff, Loctite, put a little on here, and it can dry while we're doing the brakes. I'm going to set them over here on the table, on my cart, I should say. Inspect these. Make sure they have good grease, and make sure they have the capability sliding really easy. These here do, so we can pop the boot back on it. Of course, they gonna have friction once you seal it up. So these are nice and free. So I'm not gonna add grease to it because I had a pretty good amount of soft grease still on them. So like I said, put them back in, kind of shove them down, and they kind of hold in place because you just now displaced the air. So they'll hold in place for you. And I'm not going to show this part here. Well, I will show it. Find the wire brush. Now, the new style brackets, a lot of times what we see now is on the new style brackets, really realistically in these parts, we don't even have to put any kind of lubricant on these. Because a lot of them are coated nowadays. They're, I think, zinc coated, and they just don't rust like they used to. Now, it's a little shiny over here. Myself, I don't care. I'm still going to put lubricant on it. It doesn't matter to me. So now moving on, we've got. Let's see, that's a torque screw right there. We're going to have to see if we can get it off. See if we can get this off. I think it's a 25. Now that I said it, it's probably not. And no, it's not. That 25 was too loose. It may be a 25. Maybe I lied twice. I thought it was a 25, but it feels loose. No, it's a 30. Sorry. Got lucky on that one. Had somebody the other day wind themselves up and left a stupid comment on the channel when I said something about the lube that don't do a darn thing. I can tell you, I don't understand where people get their information and why it is that so many people want to question everything that you say. The lube, the penetrating oil doesn't penetrate. It's been proven. Numerous times, numerous channels has proven it. Project Farm, I think he's even proved it. The only time that penetrating fluid is beneficial is once you've broken something loose, then it creeps in there with no problem at all, and it aids into getting something out. Like a while ago it was squeaking, and I suspect now it's still squeaking. And I actually did hit it. So we can go back and forth and spritz. Give another spritz right there, go back in with it, come back out. I mean, you see it, it's in the camera, for crying out loud. So now the lubricant has been pushed through the threads all the way. And it's still tough to get it out. Squeaking is gone. Well, that part is gone now, at least for now. So, yeah. Still not a one, yep, there it is. Now it's a one-hand job. Alright, so the lubricant did something once it's able to get into the threads. Yes, of course it does. That's why we use it. Should go without saying. But then you have, like I said, you have some, and I'm going to just call it out the way I see it, you have some idiots that think that they know everything, and obviously they don't know a head from the hole in the wall. Penetrant doesn't penetrate when it's rusted together. It just doesn't. Sorry for your luck. Maybe if you leave it sitting for 3 weeks and keep it under lubrication, submerged. Here's a rotor. We got a big old lip on it. Big old lip here. No good. Going in the garbage. So, next thing, get these contact areas here. Clean that up a little bit. Just so we know that there ain't no crud on that. And if you can get away with it with a hand wire wheel, use a hand wire or wire wheel, hand wire brush. Sorry, that's great if you can do it with that. If not, use a power tool. These brakes don't take that long, so we're going to do the whole entire thing. Of course, as always, we're going to do one side, and then the other side is the same thing. No, don't worry, it does not remove material. For one, it's hardened steel. It's the wires that are sparking. And even at that, it's not removing anything. We're talking microns, not inches, not thousandths of an inch. We're talking microns on this. So this would be a good time. Listen to your wheel bearing a little bit. All-time favorite, 100% not a sponsor, fluid film. You probably already, if you watch my channel, you already knew that because that's what I always use. You know, we got options. When you're doing brakes, you got options. You got the options of either halfway doing your brakes, you know, slap a set of pads on the worn out, messed up rotors, and just cart it off. Charge I don't know, charge $50 to do brakes, or you know, or do it the right way. Charge a little bit more. Do it right. Know that you can go to bed at night and know that you're not going to kill somebody going down the highway. Not only the person driving this vehicle, the other ones that potentially get involved with it. All right, so now it is time to actually go source the stuff. I haven't done it yet. So yeah, I got to go source the stuff first. Once again, my favorite stuff, CRC Ceramic. That is pretty good stuff. Not a sponsor, in case anybody wonders, hardware. And of course I put that on already. Oh my God, shame on me, I didn't show you that part, did I? See, it's on there. I know how you guys and girls in the YouTube community, well, mostly guys, but I know how that goes. I know some people just bitch about things just to bitch about them, but anyway, clean up, put your lubrication under it, put your clips on. Let's stick the bolts back to it. Remember what I advertised earlier? Oh, I guess it's worth being important. That bolt doesn't need to be that tight. Hand tight, good enough. That's all you ever need on that bolt. All that does is hold the rotor in place. Of course, I don't have to tell you that. I just installed the rotor. I should not have to tell you that, I don't guess. Here we got the bolts with the thread locker on them. Which, out of the millions of brakes that I've done, you know, I've never needed thread locker on them yet. I just did that because some people wind themselves up on the littlest things. Whoa, wrong way. wait a minute. There we go. Torque to spec, of course. The little squeaky boy goes in the back. They do need to move, of course. I shouldn't have to say that. Take a bracket back off. Relatively important that you do not, and I don't know, not everybody watches all the videos that I got, but I think I showed it in a couple of videos where the hoses had a corkscrew in it, pigtail. You know, that's the worst thing you can do, is roll them hoses like that. Of course, these here may not be able to do that way, but because they're so short, but you know, I've seen it twice in the last 3 or 4 years since I've been making these videos. Or not 3 or 4, it's been more than that, but you know what I'm saying. I've seen it a number of times where people just twisted the crap out of the hoses and managed to get the calipers on there anyway, so I don't know. Not a good thing. This is to call it out, this is an M8 bolt with a 10mm head. It doesn't require a lot of torque, okay? These bolts don't get torque to maybe like 12 foot-pounds or something like that. If that, really. Probably 9. But anyway, there's the assembly. As far as I'm concerned, that's done right, 100% done right. We lubricated under the rotor so that face don't no longer rust, and I showed it in other videos where it really doesn't. I mean, I've took rotors off 3 or 4 years later, and that it came off the way I put it on. So that's the proof is in the pudding there. These here cleaned up. Like I said, there's a phenolic piston. The piston face does not have the metal on it that rusts. It's actually a stainless steel cover that's on these. So put your new stainless steel hardware on it, put your brake pads on it, make sure they have the ability to move, so they're not going to be rubbing on that brand new rotor. And there you go, guys. So you have an assembly. Now, the other thing is, I get asked this a lot. Well, how much does something like that cost? Well, you know, nobody on YouTube, well, there may be some people on YouTube, but not that I know. Nobody on YouTube is going to tell you what they charge out the door. Okay, this one here, I'm going to be straight up with you. It's going to be 1.3 hours of labor. That's exactly what it's going to be. That's what I'm going to charge the man. And then there is the cost of shop supplies. Shop supplies is rags, brake clean, the ceramic that I use, the air coil. That's what I was trying to say. The air coil they put on the boat, you know, our lubricant for underneath. I mean, you know, there's going to be a shop supplies no matter where you go. Rags, and if you add one and one together, you figure out, well, why is he charging 1.3 hours? Well, you got to realize this too. When I'm done with this here, that's not the end of this. That's not the end of it for me. That job is not completed. That job is really not completed once I take the car down the road, which I'm going to drive it for at least another 10-15 minutes to make sure these brakes are actually going to be broken. You know, there's no film left on it, and the brakes are working the way I think they need to work. So that's why, you know, that's what you get when you walk into a shop and have them do it. Or, well, let me back up on that. That's what you should be getting. So that's a most common way to do the brakes, to do them the right way. You know, you don't want to throw some brake pads on it and ship it down the road. You know, Nah, don't do that here. If that's what you want, if that's what my customer would want, they wouldn't get it here. Here, we do them right, do them by the book. That's all there's to it. So, appreciate everybody. Like and subscribe, question, comments, know where to put them. We'll see you on the next one.